What's up YouTube, TheFlamingSpade here, back with another Pokemon Online battle. And today I'm actually gonna bring you guys another doubleheader featuring this somewhat new team. Some of you may remember this from my Wi-Fi battles that I've been using this like a couple of months ago, so it's, you know, kinda old, so I don't know how many of you remember. If you do, leave a comment below. But in Wi-Fi battles, you know, this team is kind of like really anti-meta game. But on Wi-Fi, on more occasions than one, people just bring random crap, and it's not the kind of battles I'm looking for. But on the PO, other hand, this is exactly the kind of environment I want to be battling in. So I was really excited to do some matches, and yesterday I did few. I'm planning to do more matches. These are the couple first matches that I had with this team, so I figured I'd join them into doubleheader and showcase you the team, how it works. And my opponent's team, he has like couple possible leads, Rotom, Wash, and then T-Tar, and I was just gonna go with Landorus anyways, because you know, it's pretty much the safest option against them both, because I'm Scarfed. So if Rotom is Scarfed, I will outspeed, get the U-turn, and then at least get the useful information what kind of Rotom it is. And I'm just gonna go for the U-turn, send out my Lanturn, which pretty much is a troll for Rotom, as he goes for the Volt Switch, but I say no to that. I got Volt Absorb, so it does nothing, and I can do the same thing to him, except my Volt Switch won't be failing, because he switches into his Tyranitar, and I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch. So Lanturn right off the bat is doing what it's meant to be, trolling Rotom and getting switch advantage for my team. So he does indeed go into his Tyranitar. I send out my Scizor, so I can just go for the U-turn again. So it's been U-turn, Volt Switch, U-turn, and my opponent has not been able to make a move. Not a single one besides switching out. This is exactly how this team operates at its best. But I'm gonna go into my Heatran here against his Fortress. Get a bit of damage, so he's not at his sturdy range, so he's kind of scared of the Fire Blast killing him, so he's gonna switch out, and I will get a chance to set up my Stealth Rocks. So that is nice. This Heatran kind of is a multitasking guy. Sometimes the problem that I do have with this team is that Heatran has kind of too much pressure on it when it has to set up Stealth Rocks and also deal with Steel types and Dragonites and everything. Sometimes it just doesn't get the job done, but this time it worked really good. And in comes the Rotom again, and I'm just gonna go into my Lanturn, absorb the Volt Switch, and keep the switch advantage for me. So in comes the Fortress again, and I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch. So, oh gosh, I love this Lanturn. I love it! So I'm gonna go into my Latios here. I'm just gonna go for the Hidden Power Fire. It will be a sure KO on this thing, and I'm actually expert belted, as some of you may remember, on more occasions than one. This thing gets really nice extra KOs when people think it's Specs or something. And in comes Landorus, and I was kind of thinking he might not be Scarfed because he thinks that I'm locked into, you know, the Hidden Power Fire, so I actually decided to stay in here. And I think I just went for the Draco Meteor, but he is actually Scarfed, just like his mine. So I guess I could have, you know, just switched into, you know, something else like my Vaporeon or something to sponsor hit. But then again, either way, he would have got the switch advantage, because he goes into his T-Tar Draco. You know, it does a nice chunk, but I can't really stay in, because, you know, he's just so bulky, and, you know, I got the minus drops and everything. So I go into my Landorus, and he actually sets up a substitute, something you don't really see too often. Although, you know, usually T-Tars just carry Stealth Rocks, and although they're carrying usually the Boa set, it's with the Stealth Rocks, not with the Sub. But this one has Sub, but I break it with the Landorus' U-turn. Then I just go into my Vaporeon. It's physically defensive, so, you know, I shouldn't really be worrying here too much. I can just, you know, make a wish and then just start scalding him. And he goes for Stone Edge. It actually does a bit more than I was hoping for, like 42%, so it might be a 2-hit KO from this range, unfortunately. But here I decided just to go for the Scald, because I did not want him to get another Sub. Although it would not have been too big of a deal, but at this point, you know, it's not too risky, because I'm doing pretty good in this match, so you know, I don't really have to worry too much. But Stone Edge actually, even though I do get the lucky burn, coupled with the Sandstorm damage, it will be enough to take me out. So after the burn though, it's gonna be a double knockout, and I'm just gonna send out my Landers here as my opponent goes into Rotom W, and I'm just gonna go for another U-turn. I do get a critical hit, which, you know, definitely did matter, but then again I could have just gone back into my Lanturn and there would not have been anything he really could have done besides Pain Split, but you know, he can't inflict any damage and I would have just gotten my switch advantage. But anyways, I take out the Rotom, I go into my Heatran, and I do carry the Hidden Power Ice, specifically for Dragonites, and I do have the Balloon. It's Heatran on a balloon. Yes, it's my meme Tran. I carry the Balloon because I mostly want to deal with Dragonites, and with the HP Ice it does a good job as being a check. But in comes Scizor, I'm just gonna Fire Blast that thing. And I think his last guy now is the Landorus, and since I'm a Heatran on a balloon, he cannot EQ me. So what are you doing, son? EQing those balloons? But you know, at this point it doesn't even matter. I'm not really sure if he noticed that I had the balloon. That's actually kind of the funny thing on PO. I actually had a couple incidents myself when I haven't noticed that the opponent is holding a balloon, and then I go for the EQ and then it doesn't hit, and then I'm like, what the heck? And then I check the log back and I scroll and I'm like, oh, it has a balloon. You know, that's the thing on PO. You kind of have to pay attention. But anyways, here's the second match of the day. I think I just decided to go with Landers as my lead, and I'm looking at my opponent's possible leads. You know, I see the Tyranitar, I see the Rotoms, those are pretty much what I'm expecting, and you know, that's why I decided to go with Landers again. You know, it pretty much perfectly deals with both of those. You know, if he goes with Rotom, I can just go into my Lanturn. If he leads with T-Tar, I can just EQ and kill it. But without further ado, let's just jump right into the match. So, indeed, I lead with Landers, but my opponent leads with the Latias, which is kind of weird, and I'm just gonna go for the U-turn, and it doesn't really do anything, like 30% something. 36%, and that is pretty amazing. So I'm guessing he's running more of a bulky variant with this Latias, and he goes for the Ice Beam. So I'm not really sure what kind of Latias am I dealing with, but the thing is, I really did not want him to fire a Hidden Power Fire if he has it. So I actually decided to directly switch into my Lanturn, but he goes into his Tyranitar for, I don't know what he was predicting. But, anyways, I'm actually gonna go for the Volt Switch because I know I'm gonna be faster than any standard T-Tar. But he actually directly switches back into Latias, I guess knowing that he would wall me. But, you know, I get the switch advantage, so it's great for me. And I'm just gonna go back into Scizor, and I'm just gonna go for the Pursuit because I'm already pretty sure he's not carrying the Hidden Power Fire since he did switch out earlier. And that is the case. He tries to switch out, I nail him with the Pursuit, which does not KO. So damn, that Latias is bulky. But in comes Burungero, and I don't really want to stay in for Will-O-Wisp or anything. So I'm just gonna go into my Vaporeon. He goes for the Willow, indeed. It misses. Not too big of a deal, you know, because, you know, mostly the thing I would be fearing is Toxic. But then again, even that, you know, I do have my Lanturn with the Heal Bell. But basically, we're just gonna trade some statuses. I just go for my own Toxic here, and he does go for the Willow just to get the residual damage on me. And damn, there's a lot of after-turn effects going on. But I think I just go for the Scald here, because I was pretty sure he would not stay in, so I might be able to nail something with the Scald, maybe get the burn. But in comes Rotom, and I do not get the burn though, but you know, at least I get a bit of damage. But I was already pretty sure that he would not stay in, although, you know, he would have got the Water Absorb, but, you know, I was sure that he would switch out. Anyways, enough of rambling, I go back into my Lanturn, which, again, trolls this Rotom here. He can't do anything, he tries to Volt Switch out. I say no to that, and I'm just gonna go for my Volt Switch. I guess I could have gone for the Heal Bell, got rid of the burn on Vaporeon, but I thought that what would be more important for me would be to keep my offensive momentum going on here, instead of just you know, healing my Vaporeon. So that's what I decided to do. In comes Terrakion. I actually predict the switch out, because Bullet Punch is pretty obvious. It was kind of risky though, but you know, the switch into Rotom with the 4x resistance, you know, was pretty obvious, so I decided to go with the U-turn. It pays off big time because I get rid of the Rotom, so I don't really have to deal with it, although, you know, it would not have been too big of a problem anyways. But Ingos Burungeru, I don't really care because I'm at full health, so I know I can most likely take a Scald, although the risk for burn could be bad, but then again I do have Lanturn with Heal Bell. So anyways, I decided to go for the Sandford boosted EQ. It's actually an easy 2-hit KO, and he was apparently predicting Vaporeon to come in or something as he goes for the taunt, but I just got the 2-hit KO. But in comes the Latias, which has 1% of its health left. So he's actually going to be able to recover, but then again, as we already learned, he has nothing for this Scizor with his Latias. So the recover doesn't even matter, because I can just, you know, take a hit here. He actually goes for the Ice Beam again. Not sure why. I don't know why he wouldn't go for Dragon Balls. Although it doesn't really matter. Both of those moves would have done like nothing. But I get a chance to go for the U-turn. He does decide to stay in, and he just dies. So in comes his own Scizor as I go into my Landorus, and I think I just go for the EQ here. I know I can take one Bullet Punch, so might as well go for the Sand Force boosted hit. And it does like 81% to the Scizor, which is nice. And I can just, here I can just go back into my Lanturn, which does have, much like Rotom, 4x resistance to Steel. So Bullet Punch only does like 16%, even though I'm not running any physical bulk on this Lanturn, I don't think. And anyways, since he is so low, again, I can just go for the Volt Switch and either KO him or get the switch advantage, as I do, as he does switch into his Tyranitar. And I can just go for the Earthquake again. And, you know, with the Sand Force, you know, it will easily take down the Tyranitar, blah. I really love this Landorus on this team, because it really deals well with the Sand teams, with the Sand Force boost. And in comes Terrakion. At this point, I can easily risk him being Scarf and him getting the KO on me. So I just decided to go for the EQ, and he actually turns out not to be Scarf, so I just take him out. His last guy will be the Scizor, and he's of course just gonna lock himself to Bullet Punch, and at this point I might as well preserve the 6 KO and just go into Lanturn on the easy Bullet Punch prediction. And I think I just proceed to KO him with Scald or whatever move, Volt Switch, or basically everything will KO. So yeah, I just go for the Scald. It easily takes him out from this range, and that will be the game. So thanks for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed these couple of matches. Kind of just wanted to showcase these matches with this you know, new team, although, you know, it's kind of old, like I mentioned, but it's the environment which I'm using it now is new. So it will hopefully lead to a couple more interesting matches in the future. I actually have a couple, you know, good matches with the same team, but the thing is, on PO, I like, when I go there, I might be online there for like an hour, and then I have a bunch of matches, and then I stop and I'm like, okay, that was fun. I had at least a couple really good matches. I'm definitely gonna post them, and then I check my logs, and then I have like 20 matches there, and I'm like, oh wait, which one of these were the good matches? I seriously don't remember. So I have to go and check my battle logs and see which of the matches are really good ones, and then I'm gonna record them with the PO animator thingy again, and hopefully post them for you guys. But thank you for watching again. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and I will most likely see you guys tomorrow with another Wi-Fi battle, and then on the following day with another PO match. I think on Saturday possibly I could post that one really long battle that lasted for like 104 turns. I think Saturday would be a good day for that, so definitely stay tuned for that. But this will be enough of rambling for today. So thanks for watching, and until next time, this is the TheFlamingSpade signing out. Peace!